Belfast Zoological Gardens are this year celebrating their 75th anniversary. And to mark the occasion, Belfast Telegraph TV cameras were invited along to meet some of the animals and the staff who care for them. Never thought I'd see the day I'd be feeding a giraffe. Am I doing this right, Nick?
Yeah, fine.
So Nick, here we are feeding the giraffes. How often do they get fed a day then?
They're fed several times throughout the day. They get a variety of browse, either inside or outside. Like I say, this is Cotoneaster. They also get willow and hawthorn and a variety of things. They also get a product called lucerne, which is an alfalfa based foodstuff, a bit like hay but much richer, as well as pellets, which are dried grass and vitamins and minerals compressed. They get about 25 kilos of that every day, on top of the browse and the hay, lucerne and fruit and veg 3 times a week.
Mark, this is a very, very big year for the zoo. It's the 75th anniversary.
Yes, that's right, and good morning and welcome to the zoo. Yes, an enormous year. For 75 years we've been here on the side of the Cave Hill, and as usual a lot of hard work goes into running the zoo day to day with all the sort of myriad of jobs and roles we fulfil. But 75 years, yeah, it could be an enormous year for us.
And I know obviously you haven't been there for the first 75 years, but there's been enormous changes.
Well, that's right, and I'm sure lots of people will have memories, and perhaps fond memories of the old zoo, which is still in place, is still quite intact, and it's actually fascinating going down there to see the way we used to keep animals. Now that in its day was fine, but they were small, literally cages, concrete floored cages. Animals were shut out all day, and it was a lot of different animals on show, but that was the accepted thing. Nowadays, you walk around the zoo, we perhaps hold fewer animals, but in much larger enclosures, in more natural groups, and so many of the animals we now look after are either rare or endangered, and certainly managed as part of cooperative zoo breeding programs. The role of the zoo and the things we do and the way we show our animals and look after animals completely different from perhaps 60, 70, 75 years ago.
But there are always going to be people who don't subscribe to the idea of zoos, but your argument against that is because of the valuable conservation work that they do, and of course, as you've just mentioned, the big improvements in how the animals are actually kept.
That's right. Now, of course, I'm going to support the zoo and the role of zoos right around the world, and I do genuinely feel the things we do really very well. So yes, the way we look after animals, the keeper care, the vet care, the enclosures are first class, and I'd love those people who have concerns to come up and have a look and see how we do things. If you add into that the other roles we fulfil, the role of education, the role of therefore bringing in people, often school children, in for formal classes, and even just an opportunity to walk around the zoo, perhaps read some of the signs, get an empathy with some of the animals and pick up some of those key messages. Yes, the role of conservation, the way we work with zoos right around the world and programs in the home countries of these animals, protecting, breeding and providing a safety net for these things. And of course we're a nice day out. We're part of the sort of tourist and visitor attraction part of the city of Belfast, and that as well. 300,000 visitors a year. We provide a key role. So I think in a number of ways, in the different facets of our job, yes, I'm very confident that this zoo and good zoos around the world have a hugely valuable role to play.
Graham, you're an elephant keeper here at Belfast?
Yep, I've been working in the zoo now since about 2003 and have worked my way around the zoo, but I've specialised now over the past 3 or 4 years in the elephant house at Belfast. As you can see behind me, we have 3 new recent arrivals to Belfast, all from Germany. And Tina, our other elephant, who's been here since the late 1960s, and she's been here quite a long time, and she celebrated her birthday last weekend, and she is 44. Our 3 German ladies behind us have arrived. Yado, the wee one in the middle here, she arrived in January, and the other 2 girls behind her, they arrived about a month ago.
And Graham, when did you actually realise that you wanted to do this kind of work?
Well, ever since I was about 5 years old, that's my earliest memory that I can ever remember, and always wanted to work with animals in some shape or form. Gone through the stages of wanting to be a vet, but then thought, no, far more interesting working in a zoo. You get a better variety of animals, and you're not just stuck looking at cattle and sheep all day. So,
and you really thoroughly love your job.
Yep, I love my job to pieces. No 2 days are the same in Belfast Zoo. You could have something. Like today, we just manicured Yeddo's feet, the elephant behind us here, but like I say, never 2 days are the same. So,
and of course, elephants are extremely dangerous creatures. What policy do you have here when you're dealing with them at close quarters?
Belfast Zoo have recently sort of last July time, have changed their elephant management scheme from free contact to protected contact, which basically means we don't go in with the elephants anymore, and we work with the elephants behind a barrier, which is known as protective contact. It doesn't sort of create any sort of changes with the elephant's behaviour or our training with them. We can still do everything. We can still wash them, do the regular foot care, feed them, do all the general husbandry things with elephants. We can still do that from behind a barrier. So.
Nick, how long have you been working as a zookeeper?
I've been working for a zookeeper for over 16 years. Been over here in Belfast since October 2008.
And did you always want to be a zookeeper? Was it something like you wanted to do when you were a young boy?
Yeah, I told my parents when I was 3 I was going to be a zookeeper, and they duly nodded and said, of course you are, son. And then here I'm 32 now and been doing the job for, like I say, over 16 years, so made it.
And have you worked with a whole wide range of different animals?
Yeah, over my career I've worked with lots of things from Pets Corner, Cuddly Buddies, right up to elephants and big cats.
And how did you get into it? I mean, nowadays I suppose you have to go and get a university degree, and when you started, not that I'm trying to say you're that old, but what way did you get into it?
After I left school I wrote to every zoo in the country saying, can I have a job please? And eventually I got an interview and a job through there, and then just kept a foot in the door ever since.
And I mean, no day's ever the same as the last, I'm sure?
No, flying by the seat of your pants most of the days, yeah, always good fun.
And have you any particular animals that you prefer working with, or do you not mind?
As long as it's got 4 legs and fur, I'm interested in it.